Much by De Jesus, who was a brilliant fighter, brilliant technician, and would give Durán trouble again. But in Durán simply didn't train for the fight, so the notion of who was going to beat Durán, we began to understand then. Durán could beat Durán, just as we learned many years later about Tyson, that the guy that really beat Tyson was Tyson. So we see an out-of-shape Durán. It's an over-the-weight fight.
The hunger has been replaced by a hunger for the good life.
Yeah, the money starts to flow. Not only the money, but all the stuff that goes with it, the clubs, the people. You know, as soon as you get money, you find, as a fighter, you find out you don't have to spend any. Everybody wants to buy you dinner. Everybody wants to buy you drinks. Everybody wants to send over the most beautiful women and the best conga players to hang out with you.
Jack Hurley, the old fight promoter, said that giving money to a fighter was like putting silk stockings on a sow. That you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do it. It ruins them.
So he was not as the lean and ferocious Durán that we had seen up to that moment when he fights Dave.
Neither one of us which speaks English.
You both know the rules of the New York State Athletic Commission. I'll be here to enforce these rules, and you must obey them. Is this understood?
Luis Enriquez is interpreting.
3 knockdowns in 1 round will automatically end the contest. I do warn you now, if there are any illegal blows, you will lose the round. Do you understand this? Good luck to both of you. Come out boxing.
It's a 10-round non-title bout. They're wearing 8-ounce gloves. Scoring in New York on a rounds basis with a supplementary point system. If the rounds come out even on an official's card, the referee and 2 judges both vote. Round 1, the mandatory 8 count is in effect. The 3 knockdown rule, as Arthur told us, and the count continues at the bell, except at the last round. If a man is floored at or near the bell, he must get up before the count of 10 or he is considered counted out. The boys are about equal in height at 5'7". Durán is wearing the darker trunks if you're looking in black and white, or the green and white trunks if you're looking in color. Esteban de Jesus, the colored trunks, the blue and the white. Either boy could end this fight with 1 punch. Both have terrific records, and there is Durán down, believe it or not. And he is smiling, grimacing. The champion flat on his pants in round 1. And we have more than 2 minutes to go from that left hook. And that brought them up. For what it's worth, Durán is 5 pounds heavier than when he knocked out Buchanan to win the title. I told you, either one of them could end it with 1 punch, and it was almost to Jesus. Well, that caused a little excitement here at the Garden. Another hard left hook by de Jesus. I think Durán is in trouble, although he's trying to fight his way out of it. About a minute to go in round 1. Now the cobwebs may be clearing in Durán's head. He sure was caught. And he is taking the offensive. Arthur Mercante, a good referee, gets them apart. De Jesus is known as a boxer puncher, and Durán is a puncher all the way. About 10 seconds to go in round 1 here at Madison Square Garden.
You're watching Roberto Durán night on
1-2 at Madison Square Garden. Seem to have double bell action here tonight. DeJesus was very close to winning that bout in round 1 in the blue and white trunks. Durán in the green trunks, or the dark trunks with the white border and the white stripes. Durán came wide open in that first round and took that left hook that dumped him on his pants. He took the mandatory 8 count. Towards the end of the round, Durán was looking all right. As you'll notice, DeJesus has good moves. He's an intelligent boxer. Durán is the puncher, as you saw in his bouts with Benny Huertas, whom he knocked out in 1 round here, and Kenny Buchanan, whom he stopped in 13. DeJesus is scoring heavily with that right hand. He's been leading with it, and so has Durán. Durán will lead with the right very often. And now Durán is taking charge, with round 2 about half over. I don't have to say anything. The picture tells the story. It is some fight. The lightweight title is not at stake. Both boys well over the lightweight limit in this non-title bout. DeJesus 138, Durán 137 and a half. A minute to go in this round. Now Durán is swarming all over DeJesus as he did over Buchanan, cutting off his punches. We see that DeJesus likes punching room. Durán won't give it to him if he can help it. DeJesus scored heavily there. In the corner, nobody landed a solid punch. About 10 seconds to go in round 2. We're in the corner of the lightweight champion of the world, Roberto Durán, and now we're moving over to the other side of the ring. In Durán's corner, we have the great American trainer, Ray Arcel, who handled so many of the opponents of the great Joe Louis. His trainer, Nestor Quinones, with his back to us. Freddie Brown, also an American trainer. And Luis Enriquez, his interpreter, whom you heard earlier during the instructions, is on the outside of the ropes. Now, they must be a little bit concerned, but Durán has looked good since the knockdown. Round 3. Boxing finesse out the window. They're throwing haymakers. Durán in the dark trunks, the green trunks with the white border, if you're looking in color. DeJesus has the blue and white trunks. Both boys are working the body as well as the head. Every time Durán gets hurt, he just shakes his head and laughs. So if you see him laugh, he probably got hurt. De Jesus seems to have gone back to the calmness and the boxing he exhibited in round one. Because a good Durán shot on the chin can make you forget your boxing. De Jesus shortening up on his punches on the inside. A minute to go in round three. I think it's just as well for Durán that the title is not at stake tonight. He could be a worried warrior at this point. 10 seconds to go in this round. Square Garden, Roberto Durán of Panama, the lightweight champion in the green trunks, the dark trunks with the white stripe. His opponent, Esteban de Jesus, the Puerto Rican lightweight champion. The world title is not at stake in this 10-round bout. De Jesus picking his spots and picking them well. De Jesus is outboxing Durán at the moment, beating him to the punch. I think Durán was shaken again. Beautiful boxing by De Jesus. I guess you can hear the crowd whooping it up. Durán is trying to get De Jesus to slug with him, and he's kind of succeeding at this point. And that could be a mistake. Less than a minute to go in round 4. De Jesus keeps his cool. Ten seconds to go in round 4. Durán was rocked again. There's the bell. Well, we've had 4 hectic rounds of boxing or fighting. Let's see if we can replay part of that last round. You see where De Jesus beat his man to the punch, caught him off balance. De Jesus in the blue and white trunks. And Durán, as you see, was rocked for a moment. But he did not go down. Arthur Mercante looks like he's sprinting to the scene. Round 5, Madison Square Garden, Esteban de Jesus. Probably ahead at this point because of his first round knockdown of Roberto Durán. De Jesus in the blue and white trunks, Durán in the green or dark trunks. Arthur Mercante, the referee, gets them apart. And De Jesus will be warned for hitting on the break. He apologizes. That was a meaningless punch. I hope you didn't miss the first round. It was a sizzler with Durán coming out wide open and being dumped almost immediately by De Jesus' left hook. And at the end of round 4, Durán almost went down again. And Durán nailed his opponent that time. And well. 2 minutes to go in round 5 of a 10-rounder. Durán, the lightweight champion, the title not at stake, I say that again. Durán won the title last June from Buchanan and scored 2 one-run knockouts in the interim. He was almost one-rounded himself tonight, but he got up and is still battling. A minute to go in round 5. Neither boy has used the jab to much advantage tonight. Probably because they've been in close most of the time. Durán doesn't seem to have the zip he had in the Buchanan fight. 10 seconds to go in round 5.
You watching?
Via ringside, round 6 at Madison Square Garden. Esteban de Jesus, the Puerto Rican lightweight champion, ranked 3rd among the world's lightweights in the blue and white trunks. Lightweight champion Roberto Durán in the green and white trunks, or the dark trunks if you're looking in black and white. Durán down for the first time in his career in round 1 from a left hook by De Jesus. Arthur Mercante, the referee. It's a bout that's moving fast. A 10-rounder. De Jesus taking charge again. Roberto Durán, who was such a sensation in the Buchanan fight, hasn't got the same crispness tonight. And I'm not going to say merry crispness either. And I'm still wondering about the fact that Durán is 5 pounds heavier than when he fought Buchanan. He was a tiger that night. Jesus again scoring heavily with less than a minute to go in round 6. A minute to go. Jesus making Durán miss, outscoring him. Durán can still win this fight by a knockout or even possibly by a decision. But at the moment, he's behind as far as my scoring is concerned, and that's unofficial. 10 seconds to go on the round. Looking in at the corner of Esteban de Jesus, his manager Gregorio Benitez. In front of him, had another fighter on the card tonight, his son Gregory Benitez, but he lost in a 6-round close decision bout to Villamor Fernandez of the Dominican Republic. Gregorio hopes to break even on the evening by winning this big bout with his fighter Esteban de Jesus. Round 7 at Madison Square Garden. Durán came out as if he meant to end it quickly. He's in the dark or the green trunks with the white stripes, but he's being belabored with rights and that solid left hook by Esteban de Jesus in the blue and white trunks. De Jesus is fighting a calm, planned fight. And he has got Durán off his game. Durán scored well with that right uppercut to the breastbone. De Jesus' face rarely changes expression in the ring. Durán will smile, growl, scowl, grimace. Arthur Mercante gets him apart again. 2 minutes left in this round. Round 7. That left hook has been a potent weapon for De Jesus to the body and to the chin. Many of Durán's punches have gone wild over the head, and he just sampled 2 more torrid lefts that drove him into the ropes with a minute to go in the round. Kenny Buchanan, the former champion who lost to Durán, is probably watching tonight and maybe learning something. And Buchanan is going to fight in the Garden on December 4th, which Joe Bostic told you about at the start of the fight. A low punch by Durán that time. A very low punch, as a matter of fact. 10 seconds to go in the round. The referee warned Durán.
You're watching Friday Night at the Fights only on Classic Sports Network.
Don Dunphy at ringside as we come out for round 8 of a 10-rounder. Lightweight champion Roberto Durán in the green trunks, the dark trunks with the white border and stripe. Esteban de Jesus of Puerto Rico, the Puerto Rican lightweight champion in the blue and white trunks. Roberto Durán has never been beaten. He's been in 31 professional fights. And I would say that winning streak is in danger right now. Real danger. De Jesus exhibiting superb boxing skill. Left hooking, shortening the left hook, throwing it long, bringing up right uppercuts, doing everything but jabbing. Durán trying desperately, but maybe never recovering from that first round knockdown. Two minutes to go in round 8 of a 10-rounder. Arthur Mercante talks to Durán. That's a waste of time. He doesn't understand English. Popped the head back by a left hook by De Jesus. Just look at the way De Jesus is picking his spots in there. It's an admirable performance. Because I can say that, and he's liable to go down with the next punch. That's the way Durán can hit. But a lot of the firepower has gone out of Rocky, apparently. 1 minute to go in round 8. Now De Jesus is forced to hold on. Durán may have hurt him with that punch. Again, De Jesus holds on after being nailed with a good right. De Jesus smartly boxing his way out of this. He was in trouble. It's the first time he's been on the bicycle. Round almost over. Champion Roberto Durán, and Ray Arcel is trying to inspire him, talk to him. Arthur Mercante has gone over to talk to Ray Arcel, who nodded his head. I guess it concerns battling after the bell, but you don't know if the fighters can hear the bell when the action is surging, as the way it was after the last round, in which Durán showed the good advantage. Round 9 at Madison Square Garden. Roberto Durán, the lightweight champion, his title is not at stake in the green trunks with the white border. Esteban de Jesus in the blue and white trunks. Now we saw Durán come back in round 8. Let's see if he can continue it. He hurt De Jesus a couple of times in the last round. It's a 10-round bout. This is the 9th round. Durán, when he surges, is still a little bit wild. Durán dropping his gloves an awful lot now. De Jesus still keeping his up high. Both boys may be tiring from the action. The round is half over. Durán has plenty of firepower left, apparently. Durán laughing again, or smiling. Jesus coming back with a minute to go. De Jesus smartly tying up his man, grabbing the elbows and stalling for a little time. Well, that's a pretty good maneuver. Crowd of 10,000 here, and they paid $62,000, and they're getting their money's worth. The round almost over.
You're watching.
As we come up to the 10th and final round, the scoring in New York is on a rounds basis with a supplementary point system if the rounds come out even on an official's card. All three officials, the referee Arthur Mercante and the judges Bill Recht and Harold Lederman, will do the voting. In the first round, just almost as the bout got underway, De Jesus nailed Durán with a left hook that knocked him down, and for a moment we thought it might be all over. Durán has gotten up, and it's been a fine fight ever since. The lightweight title is not at stake. There's the 10th and final round. The referee, Arthur Mercante, has them touch gloves. Just to repeat again, the scoring by the two judges and the referee on a rounds basis with a supplementary point system if the rounds come out even on a card. De Jesus had Durán down in the first round with a left hook. The champion, whose title is not at stake, took a mandatory 8 count. I'm repeating this for anyone who may have tuned in late. And it's been one heck of a fight all the way. For most of the journey, De Jesus has outpointed Durán, kept him off balance and beaten him to the punch. But in the last round or two, Durán looks as though he may have hurt De Jesus a couple of times. De Jesus countering beautifully there. And beating him to the punch again. 2 minutes to go in the fight, 2 minutes. Arthur Mercante gets them apart over into Jesus' corner. Durán has never been beaten in 31 professional fights. And he has scored 27 knockouts. That record certainly is in jeopardy. One minute to go in the fight. Again, Mercante getting them apart. Jesus doing the holding. Fight is almost over now. Only seconds to go. There it is. There's the final bell. Durán obviously disgusted with himself. The crowd is surging around us here. I'm going to get up on the ring apron. We hope to have an interview with Madison Square Garden's boxing director, Harry Markson, if he can get through the surging crowd here. Just to recap the fight a little bit. Jesus put Durán down in the first round by a left hook. There were no other knockdowns, although Durán was rocked again in the fourth round. Now we're waiting for Joe Bostic, the fine ring announcer here at Madison Square Garden, to announce the result of the cards of the referee Arthur Mercante and the judges Bill Recht and Harold Lederman. We're waiting for Joe Bostic now.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by unanimous decision, Esteban de Jesus.
There you have it. The winner is Esteban de Jesus, scoring a dramatic and sensational victory here in Madison Square Garden, ending the victory streak of Roberto Durán, who had scored 31 victories in a row, and only a few months ago, last June, had won the lightweight championship of the world from Ken Buchanan. Now we're going to show the knockdown in the first round in slow motion. Durán's first trip to the canvas. See that? So there you have it. A unanimous decision for Esteban de Jesus in one of the most startling upsets we have had in Madison Square Garden in a long, long time.
We were in the boxing